want you to do something awesome. You know, Vizhnitz, there are few Rebbes. The whole energy is into being besimcha. You have to be filled with joy. Because the moment you're not filled with joy, you're dead. Nobody has the right to commit suicide. So I think I shared it with you, was 64, and at that time, I'm always on my way to Israel. I would, in the summer, stop in Switzerland for a few days. I'm arriving in Zurich on Friday morning, and going to the train. You know, there's a special bus going straight from the airport to the train, and I want to go somewhere. I decided I'm going to be in hiding for 1 week where nobody is. And before me is a Yidele, the beard and everything. I say to him, where are you going? He says, I'm going to St. Moritz. He said, where are you going to St. Moritz for? He says, the Heilige Vizhnitz is in St. Moritz. Hey, you out. The Heilige Chaim Meir, Shabbos Chazon, was like this Shabbos. Okay, I'm going to St. Moritz. It was so gewaltig. But anyway, Shabbos was awesome. And I really wanted to see the Vizhnitzer Rebbe was always besimcha. What's he doing on Tisha B'Av? Right? Okay, Heschel was said by Yid, a survivor, that he was so broken. Every word he cried for half hour. And the Rebbe was saying, knee, you know. Make it faster. Knee. Then finally, after the first chapter, he says, please forgive me, I can't take it. Can't take it. So the Rebbe put on somebody who mamish knocked it off fast. And after 20 minutes, we're finished with Heschel. Listen to this. And you know, by Misnagdim, I don't want to say anything bad. After Heschel, you sit there and you cry some more. And the Vizhnitz, you know, he's like Gewalt. He always stands there on his where he is, and the Chassidim stand in the half moon around him. You know, the old Vizhnitz, when he davened, only B'Shmona Esrei he turned his face to the Orna Kodesh. The whole davening he was standing, and he never rolled his eyes, his open eyes to the Chaver. You know, he was standing like a conductor. And everybody is davening with him every word. I mean, the davening was so beautiful, you know. I mean, just heavenly. So the Rebbe standing there, and he says, is anybody here who maybe was one Tisha B'Av of my Holy Father, the Heilige Rebbe? So, an alter Yid, you know, never, not so many people survived, never. An old Yid that comes in and says, yeah, I was one Tisha B'Av by your Holy Father. So he says, tell us what happened. So he says the same thing like when the Rebbe's Olem. He says, Eicha, fast. Get it over with fast. You have to cry, do it fast. And then he says, the Heilige Rebbe had a melody for every passage in Eicha. For every passage. And it was up all night, saying Eicha again, what was his nigunim. It's, you know, this when I got the idea, they got to make some nigunim for Eicha, you know, I made some Shivre Kamayim, Al Eden Ibachir, Hashivenu, and bless me, I should be privileged to do some more, you know. You see, Mamish, you know, Tisha B'Av, you know. Basically, the Midrash says one thing. A person comes with a knife and cuts me open, God forbid. And I'm crying my eyes out. Or why don't you open your eyes? It's the greatest doctor in the world. He doesn't cut you open to kill you. He cuts you open to cure you. You know, in a certain way, Tisha B'Av is the highest God revelation there is. Because unless it's clear to me that it is God, you really can't take it. Can't take it. I realized, I have to tell you one more thing, which is awesome. According to Kabbalistic beliefs, anybody who has pain for God doesn't really feel the pain. Doesn't feel the pain. So, you know, if someone comes up to and whips somebody because he's a Jew, it hurts, but okay, now listen to this. This is unbelievable. The Heilige Kopishnitzer. Remember, I mentioned it to you a lot of times. In Vienna, when they took over, the first on their list were all the Rebbes. And since the biggest Rebbes were grandchildren of the Holy Vizhnitz, you know, they did a lot of research before they began. They knew the address exactly of every Rebbe. So, Gewalt. So what they did, heartbreaking. Every morning, 6 o'clock, they would arrest all the Rebbes, and then mamish, Gewalt. Heartbreaking. With whips, would make them run down the big streets in Vienna. Never, you know. And then they would give them toothbrushes, this heavy acid which burns you down, and they would tell them to clean the streets with toothbrushes. They did this for a few weeks. And you know, after 2-3 days, you have no more flesh on your fingers, just bones. You fella, right? And anyway, remember I mentioned it to you, I told you that the Heilige tzaddik made it to Israel, miraculously. And he would wake up every morning 2 o'clock, take a broom, and clean the streets of Tel Aviv. And then, one way or the other, one chassid saw it and he stopped doing it, because in religion you do everything secretly. So they asked the Rebbe, why are you doing it? He says, when I was cleaning the streets of Vienna with the toothbrush and it hurt so much, I made a vow that if God lets me have the privilege of coming to the Holy Land, I'll wake up every morning and I clean the streets of Tel Aviv. You know. Awesome. But I heard unbelievable stories. You know, while I was cleaning the streets, the Chassidim didn't know about it. Who wakes up 3 o'clock in the morning in Tel Aviv and goes to work? All the push lepers, right? The water carriers, the garbage people, right? The poor people. And when they saw the Rebbe cleaning the streets, and the way the Rebbe said good morning to them, this is a gewalt, right? See, after the Rebbe stopped doing it, the Chassidim wanted to find out what happened when the Rebbe was cleaning all the streets for so many years.